So with a heavy heart, I have to announce the end of the Surviving the Aftermath series. I tried for the past few days to continue it, to get it working by whatever means necessary, but unfortunately due to a capture issue with OBS, there is a lot of flashing going on when we're in the overworld, the bit with the specialists, and I don't want to accidentally trigger someone's epilepsy or something like that. It's not pleasant to watch back. It's fine for me to play, but watching it back is the problem, and given that this is going up on YouTube, that makes it a pretty big problem. So instead, I thought, what else could we have for a realm-building paradox game to take its place? Let me just breathe this one in. Let me enjoy the sights and sound and smells of Crusader Kings II. That's not a smell I don't think I'd wish on my worst enemy. Welcome back to Crusader Kings II after many, many, many months. Because I haven't played Crusader Kings II, and because I think there are probably a lot of viewers who haven't played Crusader Kings II, some people on the Patreon channel were saying, you know, where can I begin to learn about Crusader Kings II if you're bringing it back? Because I'd like to get into it so I can experience your content. So I thought, let's take things fairly slowly for this series. I was going to dive into the Game of Thrones mod or the Elder Kings mod or whatever I kind of fancied at the time, but I thought, given that we want to go for a more introductory level of play, let's go for Crusader Kings 2, regular old Crusader Kings 2, and I'll just throw a bunch of mods at that to add a few more gameplay ideas and mechanics. On the subject of that, because I want to do this as kind of a tutorial series, kind of a slow, more methodical series where we build up the characters and get to know them, what I've opened up in my other monitor here is a Dungeons & Dragons backstory generator, and I thought it'd be kind of a fun twist on things if, whenever we started playing as a new character, we ran this backstory generator, which essentially gives us a motivation and an origin and kind of a class as well, which I will try and apply as close as possible to Crusader Kings 2. Otherwise, when you have enough experience in the game, you kind of learn what events lead to good outcomes, what you might need to solve a problem with your realm at the time. Let's not do that. Let's focus on the actual characters themselves. So when we dive into game here, I will generate our personal backstory, and that will determine what societies we join, what ambitions we choose, what lifestyle focuses we take, that type of thing. Might also need to turn the music down here. I'm not sure quite how loud that is. Let's go ahead and turn that down a little bit, I guess, and then I'll sort that out a bit more finely tomorrow. So, for this run, I thought, given that it's kind of an introductory series, we're going to take a little slow, kind of do a little tutorializing here to the best of my ability. Plus, again, it's been a long time since I've played it, so I need to kind of refresh myself and refamiliarize myself. We're going to do the kind of classic Crusader Kings 2 run. There's a kind of, not really a meme run. It's actually an achievement in the game where you go from Iceland to India. The achievement is called something like Legacy of the Indo-Norse. I do have that one. I think I have almost all the achievements in CK2. Do I have all the achievements in CK2? I'm not sure. But the point is, it's kind of a standard long-term gameplay that gives you like a lot of variety. You quite literally go from one side of the planet to the other, or I should say one side of the map to the other. You get to experience all those different cultures, religions, cities, and holy wars that you might be dragged into during that time. Starting as Norse as well gives us an excuse to go out there raiding, looking at new artifacts, gives us the ability to reform our own religion and make our own religion along the way. And just kind of see where we end up. If we stick with that, if we go feudal, I've got systems in place that would allow us to take on, you know, like Chinese imperialism, if you wanted to go really weird with things. The world is our oyster with this mod pack, and I've specifically designed it as such. Genuinely, I've been working on it since 10 a.m. It's just about to turn 2 p.m., 1,400 hours for those of you working on a 24-hour clock. So let's dive in then, and go from, I guess, the earliest start date, right? Let's go early Middle Ages, 769 nice AD. Now, the problem with starting on this date, going from Iceland to India, is there isn't an Iceland. Currently, Iceland has a bunch of Catholic Irish monks on there. So the first thing we're going to have to do for our Iceland to India playthrough is actually grab Iceland. So we'll start on this kind of northeastern Scandinavian coast, northwestern Scandinavian coast, kind of northern Norway area in Nordland, I suppose. Doesn't really make any difference where we start, to be honest, because we're going to jump over there. We might end up abandoning our lands on the mainland, so we don't have to keep traveling across the Norwegian Sea every time we get into some combat there. Sure, let's go for Nordland then. Now, for the rules, I've set these up ahead of time. That's, if you want to look through, there it is. Feel free to pause and kind of take a look through there. I won't go explaining all of those, because again, I want to start this off as a nice foundational, slow series for us to experience. So here we are. I'm not going to customize a character this time, just to keep things nice and simple. It's too easy to metagame it, my honest opinion. And with a big old mod pack, you generally don't want to do that anyway, right? You want to find your character. You want to kind of uncover your story rather than creating just some god character to kick things off. So let's not worry about this. This is all just mod-related crap. And here we are. One thing I have got included, I've actually got like 3 of my own mods in this one. So of course we have the Dungeon Master mod made by myself and Kekvit, which will every few years throw some weird event our way. 10 years for the minor events and 25 years for the major events. The major events will shake up the world in quite a significant way. So that is something for us to worry about later. Again, if this is kind of your first introduction to CK2, don't worry about it too much. Now, I'm not going to go over the UI, the interface, the items. I'll do a separate episode. I'll link in description. I'll flash it up on screen now. Something like that. Top comment. Where if you want to go watch that, I'll go through all of the different interface things and talk about what they mean and what they do. I'll presume you've watched that one. That way we can dive straight into things for people who already know exactly what they're doing here. But I will take things slowly, like I said. So the first thing we'll do then, let's take a look at our character. We are Orma of Nordland. And then our dynasty is Av Nordland as well. We'll change that in a second, of course, because that's a terrible last name. We are Norse. And then we've got a mod that gives us some bonuses here too. So levy size 10%. Levy is essentially the amount of troops we have. Morale of armies up 5%. That's pretty nice. Light infantry attack and defense is up by 5%. Those are your kind of axemen. Heavy infantry, your big heavy plate armored dudes, gets a little bonus there as well. Archers, you know what archers are. Levy reinforcement rate is how fast our troops will reinforce if they're, say, defeated in battle. That's how fast they'll replenish in our territory, so we can raise them again to fight. And then monthly prestige gain plus 10%. And prestige is essentially a currency you earn from doing prestigious stuff. So, for example, apparently we own a heavy fur cloak, which has given us 0.3 prestige. We've got that diplomacy skill. We've got 2 diplomacy, so I don't know why that's prestigious, but there we go. And we hold 2 counties. We've got this one and this one, Nordland and Hålogaland. I'm not going to pronounce any of these Old Norse names any good whatsoever, so you're going to have to forgive me on that one. What traits have we got then? We've already got traits I don't recognize. We are a fortune builder. Okay. So we get a little bonus to martial, a little lower diplomacy, plus 6 stewardship, learning, and fertility. So we are more of a stewardship-focused character. We like counting coin. Second trait, religion group is pagan. I guess that's just for help tracking characters down. Culture group is North Germanic, because we're Norse, of course. We are kind, humble, temperate, and erudite. Okay, interesting then. Our stats aren't very good to kick things off. 2 diplomacy, 5 martial, 13 stewardship, 1 intrigue, and 7 learning. As a quick recap, diplomacy is how good you are at diplomatic affairs, convincing people to do things. People's general opinion of you out there in the world, if you've got high diplomacy, they'll just like you more naturally. Martial is how good you are at commanding armies. It affects how many troops you've got, how fast they'll replenish, that type of thing. That is not the same as fighting in personal combat, which we'll talk about in a second. Stewardship is 13. That's how good we are at realm management, counting coin. That'll affect our taxes, that type of thing. Intrigue is plotting and schemes. We've only got 1 because we're kind. We lose a lot of bonuses there, so it could be quite easy for us to be assassinated. And learning, it will affect our technology. And it has some bearing on kind of religious matters as well. There might be some events where we can convince people that they're wrong based on our learning, for example. And then finally, we got personal combat skill, which is the one that affects your, again, personal combat. -7, because we're kind and erudite, because we love reading books. Oh, that's good. We're going to get absolutely murdered. Besides that, then, we own 2 titles here. We've got the Chiefdom of Nordland, which is a simple county. And then we've also got the Chiefdom of Hålogaland, which is another, again, simple county. We do have some artifacts, apparently, which is quite nice. Let's take a look here in our treasury. A heavy fur cloak. It gives winter supply, so our troops can basically last longer in winter before they start dying to attrition, because they're essentially starving to death. Winter combat, 10%. Nice, so 10% bonus to our stats during winter combat. So if we're leading armies and they get into combat during the winter, we're good. Monthly prestige, 0.3. Not sure about that one, Chief. I don't know why a heavy fur cloak would give you prestige, but there we are. Because you're not freezing to death, I assume. Wowee. Alright, so before we carry on looking at our realm and our decisions and whatnot, why don't I use that backstory generator I pulled up and define our character's backstory. I'll put a link to this in the description as well. It's a D&D generator, so it's got all the different races. I'm just going to set to human. I'm going to set any background, any class, and I'm just going to randomize, and we'll see what we end up with here. Life. Background, we are a sage. Your mentor's teachings opened your mind to new possibilities in the field of study. That's our motivation. Our class, again, this is all D&D, so we'll apply it to CK2 in the best way we can. Bard. And our origin, we joined one of the great colleges to learn old lore, the secrets of magic, and the art of performance. That's really interesting, because it ties quite nicely into what we've got. We want to learn old lore and the secrets of magic. Well, we've got 7 learning, and we're erudite. That couldn't work any more perfectly. Little big brain Orma. Okay. Well, let's take a look at our societies then and see if we can do something with that backstory. There's actually a lot of, we've got a lot of societies going on for us. Fellowship of Hell is a secret society based around magic, the power of destruction. We will attempt to use dark magic, so that 4-hour character, based on that backstory we rolled there, could work pretty well. Wolf Warriors is for combat. I don't think that's going to suit us at all. I think we get annihilated. Bear in mind, our personal combat is in the negatives. -7. We got the Great Trade League, which is good for high stewardship characters, which of course we are, Fortune Builder. I could justify joining the Great Trade League a little bit and try and boost up our stewardship skills. We got the Ring of Honor, if we want to go and get into some combat there. Generic kind of Warriors Guild, Berserkers Guild, Amazons. You have to be a female character to join. Something called the Dragonkin. Interesting. So that is about, again, magic, old lore. Could be kind of perfect for our backstory. And of course, Norse mythology has dragons in it. So that could make a lot of sense, like the big old Nidhogg. Or we've got Njord's Finest, which is another warrior band by the looks of it. Wow, look at that. Ravagers, Sea Kings, and Sea Terrors gives martial and diplomacy. I think that suits our guy. If we were going to go either, I'd say the Great Trade League or the Fellowship of Hell. We could take the Trade League just as a day job for a little while, and then lean into our kind of randomized backstory a little bit there and go for the Secrets of Magic later on. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. For our ambition, so we are here to learn old lore, the secrets of magic, and the art of performance. I think honestly, boosting our diplomacy, if we've got that option, wouldn't be bad. Orma wants to improve his diplomacy since it's poor. I think that's not a bad idea. Actually, before we get too carried away, let's rename him. Orma? He's a bard. He wants to learn the ways of diplomacy and the secrets of magic and old lore. Why don't we call you... Why don't we call you Lorma? As in, I love to learn Lorma. And your last name is just terrible. Let's go ahead and rename that one. Our house doesn't have many people in it. What a hard choice. We're trying to go from Iceland to India as our overall goal, playing all these different characters. House of Nordland. There's got to be some sort of pun that's in it for me here. Shit. It's too hard a decision to make this early on. Why don't we make him earn a name for himself? Right now it's just named after the province I'm from. Oh yeah, I'm Lorma of Nordland. You know, that's just where I'm from. You got to earn a title. Maybe when we get like a significant event or something cool that happens, then we'll rename the dynasty after that. If he, say, learns that ancient lore and uncovers dragons, then we could maybe rename the house based on the founder. You know, this guy's arguably going to be our most important character going. So let's go for that diplomacy ability. I feel like it's probably not a bad idea. Become the king of Lapland, because that's the kind of kingdom that we would be able to form if we kept expanding our borders beyond where we are now. Just have to do where our capital falls. So we could go for that one. What else have we got? See the round prosper, build a war chest, groom an heir. Do we want to have a child to carry on our dynasty? He's 29. He's getting up there a bit in terms of medieval family building. While active, we get 20% fertility bonus. All those success conditions are basically, you know, we will achieve this based on whether or not those are true. And when we do that, all adult children of ours, of course, will gain 15 opinion for 240 months. All right. I think we should go improve diplomacy. Like, he's already quite learned. He's not that learned, but he's definitely getting there. Let's kick that off with that one then. Okay, let's take a look through our realm then. Nordland, we are Agnetic Eldership. The oldest and wisest members of the tribe are given authority to determine a proper successor amongst the members of the current ruling dynasty. Yikes. Okay, so we should probably get married fairly early on then. So all the elders within our realm get to vote on who they want to be the next ruler. We've got to make sure the elders like us, and we've got to make sure we have an heir that they also respect. Okay, fair enough. And we could eventually flip that over to something a bit more in favor. Gavelkind, as much as I hate it, would be kind of nice compared to this. That way we at least get our kid in charge of things. Germanic eldership, right, okay. Our laws are very, very basic. We have minimum tribal organization. Women have traditional status. Eventually we'll be able to set them to full, which means they can hold all sorts of offices and leaderships, etc. And we're not allowed to revoke titles right now. If one of our vassals does something we don't like, we can't take that title back. Not that we have any vassals right now. Okay, obligations are fairly normal. It's all very neutral, so they give a balance of taxes and troops. If we wanted to earn a lot of money, we could push it more towards taxes. If we wanted to go to war quite a lot, we could obviously push that towards troops as well. And we have no council laws available because we are a boring, unreformed tribal dude who just happens to have some frozen lands up here. Technology, very basic. Won't worry about that for the time being. So retinues are troops that we can spend money or prestige on, which are kind of a permanent standing army, our personal army that we get to control and do whatever we like, rather than raising it from our territory. If we were to raise it now, these are like the troops from that particular province. But we want to ideally get one of these as soon as possible. We'll worry about that in a minute. Okay, so army levies 580 troops in total. No retinues, no personal armies yet. We could always hire mercenaries, certainly not going to do that. We have no boats. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. Going to be quite difficult to get to Iceland. I don't really fancy swimming that one. I don't know about you, team. Let's have a look at our decisions then. We can tell our counselor to search for artifacts if we have enough prestige, gold, and piety. Piety is how religious you are. Eventually, we could found a merchant republic. We could become feudal instead. Go for a bit more of that kind of traditional medieval kingdom. A merchant republic would allow us to, well, build a republic, right? We get to build trade posts everywhere and try and earn as much money as possible. And that's more kind of less warfare-based and more kind of intrigue-based. You have to kind of fund elections, that type of thing. And the rest are all just kind of standard decisions. Hold a great blot. Or a great blute. 50 personal wealth. And then we get to sacrifice some people there. Hold a great blute together with our vassals and offer sacrifices to the gods for a good harvest and success on the battlefield. Become immortal. I've never seen that before. We have to either be a mystic, born in the purple, a Viking, a Varangian, on a pilgrimage, or on Hajj. Okay. And we need 3,000 gold, and we can just buy immortality. Wow, very powerful. Buy Damascus and forge a sword. Again, if we have any of those kind of prestigious traits, so to speak, we can buy some Damascus and make a dynastic sword. Forge a bloodline, eventually, too. We need 5 friends. We need to have a realm size greater than 15, and no one needs to dislike us. That's quite hard. Harder than it sounds. We can become a moneylender, which honestly would make some sense. We are a fortune builder, after all. That's what we are trained in, you know? That might not hurt to go for. Call a Chinese tutor. Choose a tutor in your court. Call a tutor to court to educate you and your family members. I've not seen this before. Interesting. Okay. We can sponsor the Guoji Jan. Send a great gift to the Imperial Academy in China, and they may send you a promising student to serve in your court. So this is probably worth mentioning early on for those of you who haven't played much CK2. There was a whole DLC added called Jade Dragon, which added China as the ability to kind of interact with them off map. They're not on the map as kind of a regular ruler would. They're obviously over here somewhere. Normally, interacting with them is limited to states that are nearby. It's kind of Bengal, Tibet, Tang, that type of thing. You'd be able to interact with them and, you know, pay tributes to them, send them skilled people from your court, send them money, whatever, and in turn, they could send you unique Chinese bonuses. I've said that to everybody can do it, because it's just, you know, it's just an extra little option there. I don't see why we would limit ourselves to not being able to do that. Otherwise, we won't see it right till the end of the game, right? I thought that's just kind of fun to always have on. I used to turn that on all the time in our series anyway. Factions, we got no factions we need to worry about. Factions are, you know, people who will demand certain things from the crown. They might dislike you. They might want to go do more war. You have to kind of bend over to them. And then for our religion tab, we have nothing. We're an unreformed, basic... it's not even fair to call us a religion, really. It's obviously just this kind of shared mythological background. You all worship gods and whatever. But it's not like Christianity that has this formalized head over in Rome, ruling over everything with the power to tell rulers to do whatever he wants them to do, essentially. Unless we go as far as crashing the game by pressing the Reformation button. All right. Well, I'll fix that for whenever it's relevant. Typical. Ah, God. All right. It's not a big deal. We'll carry on. Welcome to Crusader Kings II. You ever wonder why I stopped playing? To be fair, this is quite a sizable mod pack, though. So it's a lot from column A, a lot from column B, I think, there. But I'll fix that for next time. Right. Let's dive back in. I have to roughly recreate that character there, too, which is quite annoying. But that's all right. So we were playing in Nordland, weren't we? And then... Oh, actually, to be fair, we didn't customize him. So it might be the same character. It depends whether he is a historical character or a semi-historical character. So we might have a few different traits this time, which will work into our backstory, I'm sure. If it's significantly different, we'll just re-roll our backstory. We know not to press that button until I've worked out exactly what's causing that. Right, so... Okay, we're slightly different this time. Arguably better. So I'll take that one. We're a skilled tactician this time. We're a warrior. We've got a warrior's backstory. We're diligent. We're a hard worker. +1 to all of our stats. Our vassals like us more. We are deceitful. This character has a manipulative and dishonest nature. Wow. We're arbitrary. We always know best. I like that one. I believe that's true. And then we're also greedy. Gives a little extra tax, but we lose diplomacy because of it. You know, I'm going to reroll that backstory because that couldn't be further away from Bard, huh? So let's go for submit query. Right. Background. Soldier. Perfect. That actually worked perfectly. Motivation. Fighting was the only life you knew. Class is fighter, which it absolutely is right now. Origin. You grew up fighting and refined your talents by defending yourself against people who crossed you. That makes a lot of sense given that we have arbitrary. And, again, maybe deceitful as well. We've got revenge against those who would wrong us. This works out a lot better for a kind of tribal Norse character start. We're a bit more Viking, you know? So we could join the Wolf Warriors. What's our personal combat now? Oh, 18. Yeah, no, that works a lot better. Skilled tactician given 15, deceitful given +3. I like this one a lot more. That was a good crash as far as crashes go. Let's go ahead and join the Wolf Warriors then. How do we join Njord's Finest? This is another modded one. We are accounts. We need 100 prestige to join them. Got it. Okay. Right, so we need 100 prestige before we're allowed to join Njord's Finest. What do we get from that, then? So that one gives martial and monthly prestige, but lower diplomacy. That one allows us to do something called Rid Cowardice. Right-click on landed characters within your realm, or relatives or fellow Vikings, in order to rid them of a cowardice trait. Interesting. Sea King allows you to build courage. Same thing. Relatives, people within our realm, or fellow Vikings, teach them a courageous trait. And then Sea Terror. We can invite a feared Norse warrior to your court. That's cool. Do you want to do that one, or do you want to go for the more traditional Wolf Warriors? Inspire Warriors. You've got War Sacrifices there. Reavers. These are all the different ranks within the society, of course, that we will unlock as we level up. That's a hard choice. I'll go Wolf Warriors. I mean, we can't join these guys anyway, right? So we'll start with Wolf Warriors. Captain Odd of the Danish band of the Wolf Warriors greets me with a brief nod. The nod of Odd. Another recruit, to join our ranks. You need to prove yourself, boy, the man says gruffly, folding his arms across his chest. You'll be fighting one of our own. Still interested, my lord? What a dickhead. All right, I will fight to prove myself, or I would rather not bloody my knuckles. We will not attempt to join the Wolf Warriors, and he is disappointed. We'll fight to prove ourselves. Let's rename ourselves. Before we were Lorma, now we can be Warmer, as in we commit war. Oh, we don't have a coat anymore. Well, we're not as warm as I expected in that case. I'd gladly fight to prove myself. Warmer of Nordland. Let's do it, Warmer. Maybe we should also get married. That would be quite helpful, wouldn't it? And actually, we've got a more streamlined backstory now. This is a guy who lives for one thing and one thing only, that's warfare. Okay, in that case, let's go for... We could say create a treasury. We want to gather artifacts to put in an empty treasury. If we go off raiding, it's a little early for the Viking Age yet. Viking Age being the 9th century, we're only in the late 8th century. A little early for that quite yet. Creating a treasury, looting an artifact, maybe getting a weapon or some armor. That, I think, works quite well, so we'll go with that one. And then for our focus, business, rulership, intrigue, seduction, hunting, or war. Maybe war. It does say you grew up fighting, you refine your talents, it's all you know. Alright, and it will probably be all we know then, with a little Warmer. Maybe we'll get married in a second, too. Captain Odd of the Danish band of the Wolf Warriors have chosen Rolfa of Varda as my opponent. A staunch man eyes me up and down when we're introduced. Fresh meat, eh? he offers mockingly before shoving an elbow into my side, making everybody laugh. You're talking mad shit for a man who's... Oh my god, 26 personal combat. Oh no. Oh my... He's got Mjolnir! Alright, let me explain to you why that's significant. So... mythological, powerful mythological artifacts like Mjolnir. Let's take some Norse artifacts, for example. So Mjolnir, Galahorn. Those will spawn randomly, and they won't always spawn in either, by the way. It's purely random. Sometimes they won't appear at all. Not only has it spawned in this particular playthrough, the guy who we're fighting in our first ever duel happens to have it equipped. For God's sake, a strangely short-hafted hammer that looks like it might have been flawed during production. It bears a striking resemblance to the hammer wielded by Thor, the thunder god, as told in myth. Well, that's not fair. Personal combat plus 18. We're fucking doomed. I'm going to mark him as special interest. We'll put him on our list so that when we want Mjolnir for ourselves, we know where to find him. We know exactly where to find him. Let's turn that on. Let's see what our council's doing too. Let's set up our outliner here just so we can keep an eye on things depending on what we're doing here. I'll just turn on everything for now. Fuck it. There you go. You know, we won't turn on message rules because that one's not so relevant. All right. A demonstration duel, huh? Against a man who has Mjolnir. We're going to get our arse handed to us. What a shocker. A simple duel for honor or not, Rolfer has an air of unquestioned confidence about him. When I charge, he snickers. At the end of it all, I'm lying on the ground after my opponent made sure to swing his dull spear in a perfect half circle, causing me to fall backwards with a surprised "Hoo!" Ah, by Odin! That hurt, man. You lose the duel. Warmer gains wounded and a swollen ankle. We lose a little bit of health there for... until November. We've taken a bit of a hit there. Personal combat skill -5 until November because our ankle is swollen. Your duel experience increases. Oh, damn it. We're wounded too, which is actually kind of a big deal in late 8th century. We could do with, we need like a court physician or something, don't we? How do you do that in CK2? I remember now, yeah, minor titles, that's it. Why don't we take a look through our council then? That's something we never really did last time. So we actually have a very, very good council at a brief look here. Our seer is a bit shit. So our chancellor, our diplomat, who is going to be our realm, again, diplomat, has 20 diplomacy skill, which is quite nice. Forster. Performs statecraft. So these are the various jobs they can do, of course. I'm going to have him... Have we got any threats we've got to worry about? Like neighbors with more troops than us. What have we got? 661. He's got 438. Finnmark, 194. Honestly, I think we're fairly safe. Do you want to try and get some early alliances in? With improving diplomatic relations, so 54% chance yearly of improving relations with the Lord. Fabricate claims is a bit pointless when we are Norse because we can just say, I claim this by right of conquest and just fucking take it, right? We'll keep on perform statecraft. That'll just improve relations with kind of random people. Marshal, 15 Marshal, considered a competent commander. That's very good, actually. I'm going to have this guy train troops in our capital. That increases our levy size by 37% for as long as we're doing that, and increases the levy reinforcement rate massively. Could organize a raid. Again, it's too early to be a Viking yet. Until a big event fires, a big major event saying, you know, like Viking Age began, we can't go out and raid. And if we do, boats are so expensive because we haven't discovered that technology yet that it just wouldn't be worth it. Steward, you're going to build a legend. That gives us 1.3 monthly prestige, something that gives a nice bonus to us. The others are a bit pointless for the time being. Spymaster, scheme. Uncover some plots in the realm. We can maybe use that to ransom people. And then for our seer, I'm probably going to fire you, to be honest, because you're a bit shit. Yeah, look, Bothilda, a courtier in Nordland, has 16 learning. You're fired. Elder Bothilda, I'm going to get you to build Zeal in the capital. Zeal just gives us 0.5 piety. Also a chance of raising zealots, 10% chance yearly. I do like the randomness factor in CK2. I think that's really what CK3 was missing for me personally. And then our cartographer is for one of the mods, the Trade Guild mod, which we'll discuss later on. I'm just going to put you in charge of overlooking the realm. Well, other than that then, there's not a huge amount we can do for our setup here besides actually getting married. Who do we want to marry then? We're looking for someone with some hopefully good stats. We are playing with my traits mod, of course. Because why wouldn't we be? I think you're all terrible. Wow, this is fucking awful. She's dim, -1 to all stats. She's homely, -10. Short. And these are all inheritable traits, of course, so we're not looking for any of those. We don't want our heir to have any of that. Oh my god, we're going to have to invite someone to court. Can we, like, present debutante? Yeah, there you go. We're going to spend a gold to try and invite a lady to our court. Alva Skull. She's okay, actually. 16 state stewardship. I'm looking for somebody, ideally, with some sort of inheritable trait. How much money have we got? 38. This is a little bit of an exploit, because for the first couple of months, it hasn't done the calculations. These decisions are normally based on how much money you're earning per month. Although, to be fair, we're only earning 0.19 gold per month, so actually this is fine. Present debutante. I'm just going to invite, like, a shitload. Hear me out here. We're going to invite just unlimited debutantes. By unlimited, I mean 39, of course, because they cost a gold each. We're going to invite all of these debutantes, and then we're just going to go to the character finder and see who is best. The king is putting a bounty. Well, we're not king. The count? Well, I don't know what we are. The chieftain is putting out a bounty on an attractive lady. Better than, honestly, all of these hideous women within the realm. We want women who are unmarried. Let's take a look through. She's very good. Wow. Edla, she's 17. Which, yeah, it's a different era, okay? 18 diplomacy, though. It's fucking huge. Oh, what is that? Bountiful. 35% fertility. And she's lustful as well. Ah, madame. Okay, I'm looking for good inheritable traits, ideally, but I'm not seeing any at all. What is that? Oh, aberrant. She's a gigantic beast. This lady is burly. Significant physical strength. You know, more than the average person. That's not bad. We're going to go for her. Sure. I mean, lustful is fantastic. 20% fertility. Bountiful. 35% fertility. Sure. Let's arrange that. Actually, I suppose we don't need to arrange a marriage. We could just take her as a concubine. And then for our wife, we could pick someone who's more skilled. So you get half of your wife's skills added to your own, basically. So let's go for... Who was that other person with that inheritable trait? It was like a burly woman here somewhere. Yeah, you. Skuld. We're going to take you as a concubine. And we can take 3 concubines in total. Maybe just someone who's got lustful as well. She's got lustful. And she hasn't got bad stats either. You know what, let's go. Take concubine. Then for our actual wife, we'd want to marry someone who has, like some of these people here, have land. It's a bit pointless, to be honest, because a lot of them are just random temple holders. Or we want to marry someone with high skills. So let's, instead of using that button, let's go arrange marriage. Us, and we will marry to whoever has... We go for high martial. Oh, this lady not only has the highest martial stat, she has the highest stewardship stat as well. And her learning is up there too. She also has Midas touch that gives 15% fertility. For someone who's going to help us manage the realm, that's pretty good. It will cost us 100 piety, though, to do this. So we're going to have to try and build ourselves back up here. I'm going to take the prestige rather than the gold. I think. They're both fairly easy to come by as a Norse character. Maybe not quite yet, because the whole Viking thing hasn't fired quite. I want to kick all of those extra courtiers out. May you find luck elsewhere. Get out of my court. Man, it costs gold to do that now. Never used to. We're going to kick all the others out. And the only reason I'm doing that is it makes the game slightly faster, because you haven't got so many fucking people hanging around. Oh, why does it cost gold to do this? Man, finding those good wives and concubines cost us a fortune, but you can't put a price on... You really can't put a price on a good start for the dynasty, huh? If not, somewhat expensive start to the dynasty. Ah, there you go. To the Honourable Warmer of Nordland. During initiation, your display of bravery and good attitude impressed us all. We would gladly invite you into our ranks signed, Captain Odd of the Danish band. And there we are. We're in the society now. Can we give our guy a haircut? I'm not a big fan of that hairstyle. Let's go for something a bit more Viking-esque. We want to look a bit more imposing. The beard really does help him a lot too. What do we got? Some of these beards are a bit questionable, aren't they? Yeah, I think that one seems pretty good. Oh, there you are. Look at that. That is a guy who looks like he's 40 and trying to reclaim his youth. This is like a 21-year-old Viking stud of a man. Perfect. That's taken years off of him. What decisions do we have available then? Adapt continents. I don't think I will be doing that at all, thank you. I think I need a baby. Since the duel, I've been practicing a bit with Hrolfr. The man did best me, but I was quick to ask for any pointers. He seemed surprised at first, but today I'm proud to tell him he's a good teacher. And friend, I add. Ah, nice. There's no shame in acknowledging a worthy opponent. Warmer and Hrolfr's opinion changed by 25 of each other. Budding friendship. Oh, shit. He's some random Danish chieftain. Okay, sure. I might have some special interest anyway, of course. I want to be friends with Hrolfr. I mean, the man owns Mjolnir, right? That seems like a good ally to have on his side. And he just got a water clock, too. Where the hell did you get that from? Developed thousands of years ago in ancient China, the water clock is a means of tracking time by movement of water. Huh. Well, there you go. God knows where he got that from. Don't really care. Hrolfr's collecting artifacts, so we'll probably disable that in the future. One thing I did love about CK2 is all the pop-ups, all the notifications. You can customize it as much or as little as you want. If you don't want to be told about anything, much like myself, you can do that. Oh dear, something's a little broken with the society, but that's alright. Oh, it was a quest. They were trying to give us a quest, but it didn't work. That's alright. We gained 100 renown for that. Thank you. Ah, there you go. That's the actual quest we were supposed to get. Hail, fledgling. Hello. Rumors are that great spoils are waiting behind the walls of Finnmark tribe, waiting to be conquered by any ruler daring enough with grit and ambitious. I assume I need say nothing more. Signed Elfgeir, the leader of the, signed Elfgeir? You're not Elfgeir. Oh, it's a different man. Yeah, you know what? I can see the difference. They just got the same wolf head. Okay, sure. You must lead your raiders to loot Finnmark, who's prove your worth and gain the richest land within it. Well, that's right there. It's next to our realm. Let's do it. Finnmark, I'm here for your money, old man. How do we set rally points in this? I've got to remember. One thing CK3 definitely did better was the army system. Being able to raise your troops wherever you want in your domain is so nice. Otherwise, you have to, raise troops and wait for them to walk over. So let's mark our guys as looters. We are obviously going to lead the army here. We're not a coward. Don't worry about all of this kind of army management stuff. That's not relevant quite yet. All you need to know, as a kind of rule of thumb, because they are never really quite optimized enough to make it anything else. Big number beats smaller number, but you also have to consider we've only got, say, light infantry. If we try and take 700 troops to fight 400 Byzantine troops, they will probably win because they're using heavy infantry or maybe even cavalry. So that's the only thing you really have to keep an eye on is army composition, and then you kind of learn what rough numbers are worth gambling and what rough numbers aren't. Let's dive in then. Finnmark, we're here for your things. So let's do this siege. 744 of our guys versus 394 defenders. There is no one particular troop leading their defense. Oh my god, the old wound is aggravating and painful. May the Allfather have mercy on us. We've got an infection. -2 health. Wounded is -1 health. Oh god. We legitimately could die. Okay. I'm getting very frightened. What an incredible start that would be if we died immediately, huh? Let's set up some of these minor titles here. A lot of these are just titles that give, you pay them a little bit of money. In exchange, they gain opinion of you and that type of thing. They are just, again, minor titles for the realm. It's a good way to earn allies and make friends with people. So this guy's got -1 opinion. If we give him the title of Herdman, suddenly he's got 4 opinion of us because we've given him a kind of relevant title to the realm. We're not the biggest realm. We're not the most prestigious realm. It doesn't mean a huge amount to these characters, but it's better than nothing, So we're just going to set some of this crap up. Just kind of throw this at basically anybody. A mistress title. Your official mistress. Opinion plus 100. Wow. I guess we'll give that to our concubine then. Our concubine, who I think is also our cartographer? Huh. Okay, fair enough. Whoa. And you know that lady we got there, she's also hedonist. 20% fertility as well. And the reason that is that color is because she loves us. That's all that is. Just a little overlay there. Rumors were true. The whole of Finnmark tribe was filled with treasure. Since I was the leader of this assault, I'll take the best share of loot for myself, but I'm not forget to share this bounty with my brothers and sisters in the Wolf Warriors for informing me of its existence. 200 renown and 20 gold. We've got some news from China. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to disable all the news from China because, I don't really give a shit. They're on the other side of the planet, Okay, that's pretty good. That's put a little bit of a dent in our debt. Now, because we don't have, like, boats or anything. It's too early for us to be true Vikings. We can only really raid places that are adjacent to us. And I don't remember in CK2 what the limitations are. Whether or not you can only raid places that are different religion and culture. We'll find out in a second. Ah! Here you go, tying into our backstory quite nicely. My studies and training have taught me the general tactics of flanks and center, but I can hardly master everything. We can take direct leader, gives us a 20% bonus when we lead the center, which is, so as we are right now, we're on the center of the army. Outflanking the enemy is tried and true, 20% if we're flanking, if we go on this side or this side. Create choke points, battlefield terrain master. Oh, hang on, are these not the bonuses during combat? I don't remember. Narrow flank 50%. This is irrelevant. This is kind of like combat tactics that happen in the middle of combat. I'm never going to pay any attention to that. Or we've got experimentality 30%. These are for different kind of tactics that fire during combat. I'll show them off if we get there. It's not a big deal. We're going to take direct leader because we're always going to be leading our troops. That's basically a nice flat 20% to everything we do then, huh? Let's go and see if we can raid this place. I don't think we can, though, can we? Because they're our religion. We might be able to. Oh, no, we absolutely can. We can't because they have 744 defenders. And there's 744 of us. That's hilarious. The siege has been abandoned and will not resume until the attacking force is larger than the defending one. Damn it. We need to find a way to raise up our... Ah, there you go. There's our next mission. I don't know why that pops up before we've even done the mission. Weird. Alright. Hail fledgling. As a member of the Wolf Warriors, we strive to better ourselves and each other. One way is the occasional sparring match for practice and honor. Seek out the fledgling Theodwin and find him at Thelamark. Signed, King Ulfa. You want me to duel this man in prison? We can't. On account of him being in prison, you moron. He's given us a target. We can't. We can't duel. Alright, well, we'll keep an eye on him. If he comes out of prison, we'll duel him. But if, say, he's still in there in a year, I guess we'll just give up on that mission. Won't worry about that too much. Right, okay then. I want to see if there's a way we can raise up our troops a little bit. So generally the way we'll do that as a Norse ruler, because money is quite hard to come by, we're making 0.1 gold per month until we become a proper Viking, until we enter that Viking age. We're not going to earn that much cash. So I think we definitely want to go for some of these, and prestige is going to be fairly easy for us to come by. 2.4 per month. You're making more prestige than gold. Of course, you want to use that prestige spend on this. Righteous imprisonment. My wife? She's the leader of a plot. What's she doing? She wants to see me dead? Sigrid has decided it's time for her to depart this world. Our spy master has uncovered her trying to kill us. Why does she hate us? Hate minus 50. Something we did has made her hate us. Is it because we named someone an official mistress, I wonder? Oh, shit. Should we duel her? We could duel her to the death. The problem is we've got a really stinky infection here. Giving us minus 2 health. That's giving us minus 1 health. I think we could be dead as dicks at the rate we're going. Fuck it, I'm going to duel my wife. Is this dishonorable? She has accepted our fight of personal combat. She's actually got more personal combat than us because of our infection right now. Oh, God. We gained the trait wounded. We're already wounded, so we just got a swollen ankle. Gotta be careful doing that. Ah! Sometimes when I see soldiers practicing their swordsmen in the training ground, the face of Sigrid flashes before my mind's eye. I relive the duel that we fought. It sends my heart racing, how I failed to defend my honor. Some days, the shame is overwhelming. I'll make her pay for this in time. We become bitter rivals with our own wife. Yes. Okay, I'm in. Personal combat skill +5 because we are fueled with rage for the next 2 years. Also gives 0.1 health, which genuinely might be the difference between life and death. We could change over to the hunting focus, which is still a combat focus, hence this kind of red motif there. But that also gives +1 health. Oh, what happened to all our concubines? What? Where did they go? They just fucking... Oh my god. You know when I kicked out all those courtiers? I wonder if they just left. That seems a bit bullshit. I'm going to take her as a concubine. She was one of our prisoners. Irene. She's another prisoner. I'm going to take her as a concubine. She's the chief... Oh, she's the chief of Finnmark's wife. I'm going to take her as a concubine. Done. Perfect. Teach him a lesson. We are gonna get horribly murdered here, by the way. Irene has arrived in our court. I imagine he's not too pleased about the fact that we kidnapped his wife. Oh, yeah, no, he really is not pleased with that one, huh? He's got a magic scroll. Oh, wow. I'll be taking that if you don't mind. A farmer told me how his boar managed to break into his neighbor's hoggery and the result was 7 small piglets. Now his neighbor demanded compensation we can't afford and they need to tell me what to do. Either we can say he should pay his neighbor and give him the trait just, which is very good. But it doesn't really suit our character, does it? Arbitrary, deceitful. Keep 1 piglet, the rest belongs to me. Earn 1 gold. Maybe we should do that. Alright, okay. I think keep one piglet and the rest belongs to me. Because we are an arbitrary character. Flipping from arbitrary to just suddenly seems a bit weird. I will take that. Pays off a bit of our national debt. Oh. Though you wouldn't think it, many herbalists and physicians believe that tea made from the petals of the rose has a good number of beneficial medicinal properties. It's a good thing you're drinking some today then. 0.1 health and plus 3% fertility. Thank you. You got any more of those health bonuses though? Because we're going to fucking get murdered. We've been killed by our good friend Hrolfr almost immediately. Oh my god, Hrolfr, what happened? He's got creepy eyes. Fatigue. Malaise. Oh, Hrolfr's ill as well. I'd really love that hammer of yours, Hrolfr. If you die, can you leave it to me in your will? Assuming we don't die ourselves at this point. I'm planning a special occasion with my lover, but my wife is quite insistent on alternate plans. Who is more important to me, my wife or my lover? You know, I think I can answer that one, fella. Arrange a ball and invite my lover. Spend time with my wife instead, or ignore my wife and visit my lover. Arrange a ball and invite my lover. One of three options will happen. We've got an 80% chance of nothing happening, 10% chance of Skull becoming pregnant with our child, so that's our wife. Oh no, our concubine. Or 10% chance of Sigrid meeting our lover at the ball and learns about your adulterous relationship. That's not really adulterous, she's our concubine by law. I guess you're not supposed to love your concubine then, she's supposed to be there to serve a purpose. We've all seen the series Vikings, right? I've seen enough of it up to the point where his wife leaves him because he takes a concubine, you know? Ignore my wife and visit my lover. There's a 10% chance she just becomes immediately pregnant from this ball. I mean, that's generally how it works though, right? Go on, I'll take it. My wife Sigrid came up to me. She slapped me and left the ball. My lover came running My lover came running after her and gave me a look that meant trouble ahead. My wife Sigrid and lover had met, and my wife learned about our adulterous relationship. Now she hates me. Fuck this woman. She hated us anyway. Hate, minus 100. Rival, minus 100. We can imprison her. She is trying to kill us, but I wanted to try and take her out in a more honorable way than just, you know, throwing her in prison doesn't seem a very Viking way to solve things. Like, oh, my wife has betrayed me. I'm going to imprison her. I want to duel her. I want to win back my honor, but we're not going to do that while we've got this stinky infection. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Special minor titles granted, but what happened then? We can take a court physician. A man arrives in our court called Gandalfr. And he's a genius man. He's a scholar. He's got 16 learning. Gandalfr, treat me. Treat me, Gandalfr. How do I ask him for treatment? There's normally a button, right? Become immortal. That'd be quite nice. I don't remember how we ask him for treatment. Oh, I didn't think you can while you're in debt because it costs money, doesn't it? Oh, there you go. Recently, I've noticed the physical state of my wife, Sigrid. No, I don't want to treat Sigrid. She's got the flu. Fuck Sigrid. Well, it's only a mild flu, but it is still the flu. Sickness and death awaits us all. Stop pestering me. If she dies to the flu, then she is weak, and so be it. How do I get my court physician to tend me, though? I think we do need money, which is a bit of a problem, because that's the one thing I don't have. Too busy looking for those wives. Oh, no! Hrolfr had rabies? Shit! My fellow member of the Wolf Warriors and my budding friendship with Hrolfr has been cut short. He died of rabies, blessed by Thor with his hammer. Turns out that blessing didn't go far enough. Shit! I wonder where Mjolnir ended up. Let's see if we can find it. Mjolnir, there it is. Hrolfr owns it. Hrolfr inherited it. He inherited his water cloak and his heavy cloak as well. So the rules of inheritance for artifacts are a bit weird. But they do kind of make sense. So if you die, your direct heir will inherit it. If not, it'll go to your next closest relative, so either a brother or an uncle, say, or if your parents are still alive, it'll go back to them. If you don't have any family members at all and you die, or if you're in a foreign realm, when they die, it'll go to the liege, so whoever's court you're in. And because Hrolfr was a vassal of this guy, and he died without any family members at all, this guy has now inherited it. Hrolfr. That is, that's interesting. Okay, I would love to get Mjolnir from him at some point. We might make that one of our goals to try and grab that with this guy. Through stage war games and large-scale exercise, I feel confident I can master one of the main military disciplines. Very nice. This is because of our war focus. Lightfoot is key, so we gain a Lightfoot leader. That's for light troops, plus 20% to their stats. Heavy infantry or cavalry. We're not going to get heavy infantry, and we're certainly not going to get cavalry. So we will go for Lightfoot leader. These two are very, very good. These are very, very good combo. Assuming we survive, we'll be very good. Which I might be asking for quite a lot. I've been feeling well lately, probably due to my poor health. My stomach especially has been feeling uneasy. My physicians recommend I eat some hardtack daily for a few weeks instead of bread to alleviate my problems, as it will help with indigestion. Perhaps I will have to stock up on a large amount. Whatever would I eat, there's disgusting bland things, or I'm pretty used to eating these with my troops, so I can do this. Okay, this option is available due to your high martial skill, or a martial man. Let's do that and see what happens. That cost us genuinely like... That just cost us like 25 months of money, right? That's insane. Just bankrupting the round by eating nothing but a hardtack. A small spear throwing competition could be entertaining. It's a great way to enliven your battle technique. Maybe you should arrange a contest at your court. My throwing arm will amaze everybody. Yeah, all of my courtiers there are happy about things. My spy master, my chancellor, my stewards. I will amaze everyone. Oh, God. Everyone attended... Oh, no, I know who that is. Everyone attending the spear throwing competition seems to have been having a great time. They're partaking in the contest, conversing and laughing together. Perhaps the merriment is a bit too much, as a spear is carelessly hurled into the field as someone is still out there, measuring the distance of the previous throw. Gandalf just got mangled. He was the only hope for me surviving. -3 health and severely injured to -2. Gandalf is fucking dead, by the way. Elder Sonny won the competition. We lose a little prestige because we didn't win. Ah, but look. We have courted death. We've watched Gandalf be impaled. We ourselves have an infection and are wounded. I no longer feel fear. You fucking should, because you're right on death's door, pal. And I think that's a great place to leave it for today. This is just one tragedy after another. My God. We joined the Warriors Guild, as is our backstory, of course. Warmer, man of war, joins the guild, gets beaten in combat, becomes friend with the guy who beats him in combat, only for that guy's wound that he inflicted on us with Mjolnir to end up being genuinely life-threatening. We're one bad day off of... We could drop down dead any second now. He then dies of rabies. Our wife hates us because we found a really good concubine that we fell in love with. And then the only guy who could have possibly cured us, the only guy in our court with any medical knowledge whatsoever, the only man who could have literally saved our life, has now been mangled by a spear throwing competition. This is a horrible start. Wowee. Okay, I'm alright with that though. Thank you all for watching. If you want me to go into any more detail about certain things, if you want me to explain anything slower or better, if you've got any feedback at all, throw them in the comments section, and I'll go over some things, and we'll see what we can do about that, and see if I can get you guys into some Crusader Kings as well. And then we'll carry on with this, just kind of... I'll try and do this daily, of course, but we'll just kind of see how it goes, really. And I might treat CK2 going forward as kind of a series to do in between major series on this channel. I didn't want to go straight from... you know, Star Wars to Mass Effect, BioWare space game to BioWare space game. It's quite story heavy. I wanted to kind of mix things up a little bit on this channel, rather than just having it constant RPG after RPG. So maybe that's what CK2 can do for us. Thank you for watching. See you all tomorrow. Well, we'll probably die immediately.